Highlights, I'd probably say being on the tennis team is the first one. I get along with the guys really well. We just got back from our spring break trip in Hilton Head. That was really fun. It was good team bonding. A lot of people are friendly. I haven't met too many non-friendly people, I'd say. Everybody's pretty welcoming. The life around here, I'd say, is pretty good. I have a job off campus. I teach tennis for kids. My coach helped me out with it. He worked there when he was in high school. I mean, I try to do as much as I can while I'm here.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and go Bears. I'm Tim Calderwood with you from RA Fagnall Hall on this Saturday as we open up a doubleheader of basketball action featuring the Elmhurst College Blue Jays and the Thunder of Wheaton College. We start our doubleheader with the women's game today as the Blue Jays looking for consecutive victories in the CCIW for the first time this season, coming in on the heels of a win over North Park on Tuesday by the final score of 70-57, which stopped a two-game losing streak for the Blue Jays. Wheaton, meanwhile, has been one of the surprise stories in the CCIW during this 2010-2011 campaign. The Thunder surged to the top of the CCIW standings and saw a seven-game winning streak, I should say, halted on Wednesday as they fell at Illinois Wesleyan, a contest where they were able to pull within two late in the ball game, but could not get over the hump in an 85-69 defeat. The lights are off, and that means but one thing here in Elmhurst, the introduction of the starting lineups. We begin with the Wheaton College Thunder. They were 11-4 and 4-1 in the CCIW. Brooke Olson starts for the 16th time, a 5'9" sophomore out of Winfield, averaging 11.5 points per ball game. Lindsey Brenneman, a 5'8" junior out of Overland Park, Kansas, averaging 13.9 points per ball game. Laura Karsten, a 5'9" sophomore guard out of Grand Haven, Michigan, at 13.6 points per ball game. The forwards for the Thunder, Elizabeth Potts, a 5'10" junior out of Holland, Michigan, averaging 6.7, and Annie Bowen, a 5'9" senior from Wheaton who averages 7.9 points per ball game. Those numbers right away tell you that Wheaton receives an awful lot of contributions from their starting five. For Elmhurst, Kelsey Monroe, 5'8" senior out of West Chicago, averaging 8.2 points per ball game, starts for the 15th time. She's joined in the backcourt by Rashida Joyner, 5'7" senior out of Chicago, at 3.1 points per ball game. The forwards, C.J. Harris, inserted in the starting lineup today following a solid performance on Tuesday, fourth start of the year, 5'9" senior out of Calumet City, averaging 4.2 points per ball game. Megan Merklin, 5'11" junior out of Plainfield, Illinois, starts for the 16th time, averaging 11.7 points per ball game. And Megan Ney, a 6' junior out of Carroll Stream, averaging 11.5 points per ball game, starting for the 16th time this season as well. Stephanie Werner with just a few adjustments to her starting lineup compared to the last time out on Tuesday when she changed up the lineup pretty significantly. C.J. Harris joined the starting lineup along with Kim Schwartman and Lauren Rhodes in the win over North Park. Megan Merklin led the Blue Jays with 21 points, one of two players in double figures. Megan Ney is in the center circle. She is flanked by Elizabeth Potts, and we are underway as the ball is swatted around and controlled by Wheaton. Laura Karsten takes to the basket. It's already swatted from Harris, with a rebound basket for Elizabeth Potts. Puts the Thunder on the board. Wheaton 11-4, 4-1 in the CCIW. Here comes Elmhurst to answer. Right away into the post for Megan Ney. An up-tempo contest will favor Wheaton in the ball game, but as has been the key for Elmhurst all season, starting out of the gate strong. An important factor for the Blue Jays today. Brooke Olson drives towards the basket, clears out to Bowen. Here's Potts up the right side to the feet of Brenneman. It's loose on the floor and taken away by Monroe. First turnover of the game. The acting head coach of Wheaton College is Kent Madsen. Monroe baseline left to the free throw line for Ney, whose 15-footer rims out. Merklin taps at the rebound. It's out of bounds off of Wheaton. 66th meeting between Elmhurst and Wheaton in women's basketball. Wheaton leading the all-time series 54-11, but in the last 6 meetings, the teams have split. Megan Ney again outside the paint with a basket from 5 feet away. Solid start for Megan Ney in the ball game. A 4-2 advantage for the Blue Jays. Potts will drive to the basket. No. Bowens taps at the rebound, and Ney collects. Megan Ney did not start against North Park, but 8 points and 6 rebounds off of the bench. She has scored the first 4 for Elmhurst here this evening. Harris to Joyner, wing left. On the move, jump stop in the lane, pushed from behind. Elizabeth Potts with her first foul. It is the first on the Thunder. As Kelsey Monroe inbounding the basketball to Megan Merklin. Tim Calderwood with you on Blue Jay TV. The men's scheduled for a 7:30 tip. Here's Merklin in the lane. Scoops it up and in. Boy, this looks like a different Elmhurst team, trying to gather some momentum off of that victory from Tuesday. Annie Bowen, meanwhile, takes to the basket. And 6-4. Very up-tempo start to the ball game. Monroe will try a 3. Corner left, bingo. It is a 9-4 lead for Elmhurst 2 minutes in. Kelsey Monroe with 16 three-pointers this season, entering the matchup, leading the Blue Jays. Bowen between the rings looking to lob. Instead, opts to shoot. The three-pointer rims its way through. Can't get much more hesitation than that. Bowen finally decided, okay, nobody's going to go to the basket. I'll shoot. And it's the three-pointer, 9-7, each team with a triple here in the early goings. Harris cutting for the basket, calling for the ball as it's swatted away by Bowen. Karsten went for the steal. Bowen swatted away the Harris attempt as she came in to help out. Otherwise, Harris would have been wide open underneath. 15 on the shot as Ney throws it away. Olsen driving towards the basket and a foul. Other CCIW games today, which we'll check in on periodically. Carthage is at Milliken, Illinois Wesleyan at North Park, and North Central at Augustana. In fact, that Carthage-Milliken game was earlier today, and it's already gone final. Brooke Olson averaging 11.5 points per ball game out of Wheaton North High School. Hits free throw numero uno for the Thunder, who shoots 73% as a team from the line. Olson good on a pair to even things up at 9 aside. Second tie of the contest here early on. Joyner into the left corner for Monroe. Three-pointer again is long. Ney falling out of bounds. Wheaton will have an opportunity to take their first lead since 2-0. Brooke Olson taking her time, marching it up the floor. Popping out at the right turn. Lobbing into the lane for Bowen. Clearing into the right corner, Potts. Three-pointer, no. Harris, good box out on Karsten to control the rebound. 16:35 to play first half. Tied up at 9 aside as Joyner has her entry pass knocked away. Ney recovers. Baseline left from 15, no. Harris fighting for the rebound, and Harris hustling, making sure she did not give up on the play, and dropping in the easy bucket low left, 11-9. Suffice it to say there's a reason why C.J. Harris is in the starting lineup for the Blue Jays for the second consecutive game. Bowen into the lane, over the top of Merklin, short. And Ney will chase down the rebound on the strong side of the floor. Ney looking to lob against the man defense. Joyner in front of the Wheaton bench with a left-hand dribble. To the top of the arc, 15 to shoot. Megan Ney angles left. Picks up her dribble, bounces in the post. Harris dead on, 4 feet away and in. Over the top of Karsten. C.J. Harris extends the advantage to 13-9 and a very solid start for the Blue Jays today, who have converted on 6 of their first 10 shots from the floor. Bowen with a no-look sling to the left. Rolls to her left, popping out and screening Olsen, who leads Karsten into the corner for a three-point attempt. Short on the strong side, Harris with a rebound. Merklin goes court wide over towards Monroe. Three-pointer no. 3-on-2 for the Thunder, and Potts opts to slow it down. Both teams will have some substitutions checking in at the next dead ball as Karsten takes to the basket. You're seeing one of the reasons why Wheaton has been so successful early this year. Their ability to hit from both inside and out. Kind of creating shots for themselves. Here's Merklin with a three-point attempt, rimming out. Rebounded Joyner in the lane from 12. Nope. And Karsten underneath. Brenneman loses the handle. Recovers, rotates onto the left edge. Olsen, three-pointer, long. And it'll hit over the backboard and out of play. We have our first substitutions of the game with 14:20 to play in the half. Maris Hovey and Kelly Brooks for Wheaton, along with Brianna Bolin. Elmhurst with Jordan Maisto, Devin Vaughn, Stephanie Mitchell, and Kim Schwartman were the only players staying on the floor. Kelsey Monroe. Vaughn dribbles left towards the corner, rotates to the right side. Monroe will start to move. Perimeter passing game for the Jays. Maisto, right corner, on the move, driving baseline out to Vaughn. Stepping back, three-pointer good. Devin Vaughn with her 7th three-pointer of the season for the Blue Jays. The freshman out of West Aurora High School averaging 3.9 points per game. 16-11 in the first half. Olsen thinking about a three, driving instead. Bothered by Schwartman, who defends her nicely. And it's Mitchell out hustling Hovey for the rebound. And the Blue Jays throw it away. Brianna Bolin starts a break. Here's Brenneman, second team All-CCIW choice a year ago. Fouled on the way to the basket. Charged the foul to Jordan Maisto. Wheaton is 2 of 2 at the line today. It's the first trip for Lindsey Brenneman. 82% foul shooter this season, 45 of 55. The leading scorer for the Thunder, 13.9 points per game. Second free throw rims out. Brooks fighting for the rebound. And watches it bounce out of bounds. 13-18 to play in the first. 16-12 advantage for Elmhurst. Riding a solid start from the floor, 50%, 7 of the first 14. Vaughn hit a three moments ago, drives here to Maisto, back out to Schwartman. Left turn, air ball for three. Schwartman has provided a lot of scoring punch for the Blue Jays off the bench this season, but missing a three-pointer there. However, Wheaton throws it away in transition. The Blue Jays currently sitting with a record of 2-3 in the CCIW, places them in 5th place behind Carthage, who lost earlier today to Milliken. Carthage is now 3-3. They only lost 2 conference games last season, and this year they've already dropped 3, not even through the halfway point of the season. So a win for Elmhurst today would pull them even with Carthage in the standings for the 4th and final spot in the CCIW tournament. The top 4 teams qualify at the end of the year. Of course, a lot of basketball to be played, but never too early to start watching the standings. Hovey dribbles it off the side of her leg. And away come the Blue Jays. Maisto bouncing for Mitchell, low, right up and in. 18-12. And a timeout for Wheaton. A 30-second timeout, we keep it here. One of the biggest keys for the Blue Jays here in this hot start has been their ability to move the basketball. This is as patient as I have seen them look thus far in the 2010-2011 season. Couple that with some solid shooting, and it leads to the 18-12 advantage. Elmhurst out rebounding Wheaton 8-7 early on in the ball game. So the Thunder spending timeout number 1 here in the half. Elmhurst breaks the huddle. Schwartman, Vaughn, Mitchell, Maisto, and Ney. Wheaton with Olson, Potts, Brooks, Bolin, and Karsten. So teams with changes during the stoppage. 11:55 first half as Olson is fouled 40 feet away from the basket. Kim Schwartman's first foul. The third against the Blue Jays. Brooks to a cutting Bolin outside the lane. Ney defended perfectly. Forced the miss. Maisto races ahead. Cross court for Schwartman. Right corner Maisto, back up high Vaughn. Puts it on the deck, drives towards the basket. 10 to shoot as Mitchell pulls up on the left baseline, attempting the 17-footer and a foul on the rebound attempt. Elmhurst over the back. Second foul already against Schwartman. And that will force Tethny Warner to bring in a substitution as off the bench comes Lauren Rhodes. Wide open is Carson in the left corner for three. Good. Second three-pointer of the game for the Thunder, who are a 34% three-point shooting team on the season. Maisto fakes right, comes back to the left. Here's Rhodes on the baseline. Fouled on the ground. Merklin and Joyner re-enter, while Brenneman joins the fracas for the Thunder. Reset the floor for you in a few moments. For the Blue Jays, Rhodes, Vaughn, Merklin, Ney, and Joyner. It is Joyner in the left corner with her back to the basket. Face up, starting to drive. Top of the key for Vaughn. Jump stop on the left side of the edge, tries to toss it up, and it rims out to the left. Karsten reels it in. And a foul again 40 feet away from the basket. The speed of the Thunder trying to take it to the hole. Elmhurst has been called more than once, trying to avoid those easy opportunities. Olson, Brenneman, Brooks, Potts, and Karsten for the Thunder. It is Brenneman taking to the basket. Brooks with a rebound, falling away in the lane. Brooks just used her height advantage to get to the basketball and was tossing it towards the bucket as she fell away. The Thunder are within a point at 18-17 as we near the midway point of the half. Here's a long jumper from Megan Ney, showcasing her range and converting from 18. And the Thunder again with a home run ball to Brenneman, counted in a foul. Lindsey Brenneman to the free throw line, finishing on the three-point play. 4 points for Brenneman in the contest. Lauren Rhodes, who replaced Kim Schwartman with 2 fouls, has picked up 2 fouls herself. We are even at 20. And a back and forth first half of our opening 20 minutes of play. Joyner crossing over. At the free throw line, back to Ney, lobbing for Merklin. And Merklin shoved by Potts. That's the second against Potts. The Thunder with just 3 fouls. 2 of those belong to Elizabeth Potts. Merklin shooting 2 as the Blue Jays look to retake the lead. 81% free throw shooter. Merklin has been one of the top free throw shooters in the CCIW during her 3-year career here at Elmhurst. Perfect on both, 22-20. Lindsey Brenneman up the left side of the lane, tossing for Brooks. He wasn't really ready, able to clear out to Olsen. Right side, no, but Karsten cleans it up. Have to find a way to put a body on Karsten, sneaking in, catch and shoot in the same motion on the putback. 22 all. Monroe passing on the 3, moving instead to the baseline. Here's Ney in the lane. Catch and shoot for her as well, and headed to the free throw line. Lindsey Brenneman with her first. It's the 4th against the Thunder, and Megan Ney at the line shooting a pair. 75% shooter this season, converting on attempt number 1. Elmhurst at 71% as a team. 2 very good free throw shooting squads here at Elmhurst this evening. And the second one is just like the first. 24-22. The Blue Jays by 2. And for the first time today, Elmhurst will break out the press. They back off a little bit as Brenneman tries to sashay her way around Monroe. Merklin steps out to help, and the Blue Jays attempt to trap. Bowen in the lane lost the basketball. It's still free on the floor. Joyner comes away. Joyner on the move. It's a 3-on-2. Joyner pulling up. 13-footer, no. And the rebound is knocked out of bounds by Brooke Olsen, who failed to bring it into her body. And Elmhurst will control possession with 8:48 to play and a fresh 30. Vaughn's entry pass knocked away by Brooks. Here come the Thunder looking to tie or take the lead. Bowen on the left baseline will trigger a 17-footer. It's well short. Monroe the long rebound, leading a 3-on-2, skipping for Vaughn. Joyner out of control, is bailed out by Brooke Olsen. Joyner careless with the basketball, was fortunate to recover, and then in the process, scrambling for the loose ball, drew the foul. The 5th foul against Wheaton. Joyner back at it as Vaughn pops out. Catch and shoot from the right edge. Nope. Offensive rebound for Monroe. Low left, not there. Bowen fighting for the rebound. And it'll be the 7th foul against the Blue Jays, sending Wheaton the other way for free throws. Devin Vaughn with her first foul. Annie Bowen to the line for the Thunder as the Blue Jays change up their lineup on the floor. Annie Bowen, a 61% shooter on the season, 32 of 52. 1-1 off the back iron. And it'll be 1 and done as Hovey smacks the rebound out of bounds. Olsen, Brenneman, Bowen, Karsten, and Hovey for Wheaton. Monroe, Joyner, Harris, Merklin, and Ney for the Blue Jays. Merklin pulling up, left of the lane from 16. Nope. Karsten controls. Brenneman high left, lobbing for Bowen. Slinging out to Karsten on the right side. Into the lane it goes for Hovey, dumping for Bowen, who's fouled. Well, we've talked a lot about the ball movement of Elmhurst here in the first half and how well they've been able to move the basketball. Wheaton, kind of a tutorial there as well. Taking the 1 extra pass to lead to the wide open, uncontested layup. And rather than giving Bowen the opportunity to convert on the 2 the easy way, he'll make her shoot from 15 feet away instead. Bowen, a Wheaton product out of Wheaton North High School, one of 2 Wheaton North players on this Wheaton roster. Brooke Olson is the other. Olson a sophomore, Bowen the senior. 24 all with 7:33 to play. Harris fakes left, moves back to the right. Dumps off for Monroe in the right corner. Monroe using a screen from Ney, who is posting and calling for the basketball. Shot clock down to 5. Ney has to hurry with 4 to shoot. Pulls up at the right elbow, short off the front iron. Monroe the follow. Nothing there. Harris will have a third opportunity out to Merklin, who buries it. 3 opportunities for the Blue Jays, who lead 26-24 with less than 7 minutes to go in the first. Bowen in the lane, over the top of Merklin and through. Andy Bowen beginning to heat up for the Thunder. Hands in the passing lane. The Thunder very aggressive defensively as well. And we have a timeout on the floor. 30-second timeout for Elmhurst. During this one, however, we step aside. 26 all the score with 6:36 to play. This is Blue Jay TV. Well, we mentioned the other games around the CCIW earlier. Milliken winning at home against Carthage, 46-44. Other scores presently in the first half, Illinois Wesleyan on top of North Park, 21-14. While Augustana leading North Central down in Rock Island, 23-18. Here it is, Elmhurst and Wheaton, even at 26 with 6:35 to play. We had an inadvertent horn. The Blue Jays were ready to inbound the ball before the second horn was blown out of the timeout. And now they'll head towards the scorer's table, maybe to add some time back to the clock here. That will give me an opportunity while they work on the scoreboard to tell you that Wheaton shooting 45% from the floor, 9 of 20. Elmhurst at 38% following the hot start, 10 of 26. Well, they put 1 second back on to 6:36. And they've added 1 to the shot clock as well. So they just wanted to make sure that the clock reverted back to where it was before the ball was inadvertently inbounded. But the Blue Jays do it for real here with Harris tossing to Joyner. Monroe slings out on the left baseline and hits from 16. 28-26, the Blue Jays with the lead. Elmhurst out rebounding Wheaton 15-13 to start. Moments ago, the Blue Jays with 3 chances in the offensive end. Bowen tries the right side, denied on the drive by Merklin, who may have gotten a piece of the shot as well. Monroe off for the races. To Merklin, wing left, backing up. Ney posting and calling for the ball. Joyner dumping for Monroe, corner right. High to Ney, back onto the left edge for Harris. Shot clock down to 12. Merklin attempts to drive. Out to Ney, free throw line extended. It's an air ball from 16 and out of bounds to Wheaton. Illinois Wesleyan, the only unbeaten team in the CCIW, currently at 5-0. Augustana is the only winless team in the CCIW at 0-5. However, as we mentioned, the Vikings winning at home early today. We'll run down the full standings at halftime. 28-26, Elmhurst with the advantage. Karsten dribbles to her right. Into the lane for Bowen, over the top of Merklin, off the back iron. Followed up by Hovey, her chance no. Merklin fighting Hovey, who steps out of bounds. A jump ball was called, and they will hand it to the Blue Jays. And they'll say it was not a jump ball call. The scores table checking moments ago. One referee had singled jump ball, and the other referee was saying out of bounds. Just a matter of making sure who was the one making the call. 5:05 to play in the half. Ney on the right baseline. Long from 12. Away comes Olsen on the move. Poked away from behind. Joyner the steal. It's a 3-on-2. Ahead to Monroe towards the basket and one. A 4-point advantage for the Blue Jays at 30-26. As Laura Carson is whistled for foul number 1. And Kelsey Monroe will shoot for a 5-point advantage. Monroe 71% of the stripe this year. Hits on the free throw. 31-26, Elmhurst by 5. Solid first half of play for the Blue Jays. Brooks, high left. Dribbles, finds Brenneman, sets a screen. Brenneman on the move, denied on her drive attempt. Here's Brooks taking to the basket strong, way too strong. Karsten swatted the rebound into the waiting arms of Harris. Harris to the basket, tried to carry as well, but a travel. .427 to play in the half. The Blue Jays leading by 5 here on Blue Jay TV. Don't forget, you can receive all the latest information on Elmhurst College Athletics as Bowen misses the layup by visiting the Elmhurst College Athletic website. And an offensive foul is called against Merklin. If you're wondering, that address would be ElmhurstBlueJays.com. You can follow along with the statistics of every home contest through ElmhurstBlueJays.com, which is where you're receiving the up-to-date information from this guy. There's the address, ElmhurstBlueJays.com. Don't forget to become a fan of the Blue Jays on Facebook. And follow Elmhurst College Athletics on Twitter as well for all of the up-to-date information and our schedule here on Blue Jay TV. There's your Twitter address for you. Brooks right off of the chest into the arms of Harris, who attempts to lead the charge. Over to the left edge for Fitz. Three-pointer is good. Megan Fitz checks in and makes her presence known. An 8-point lead for Elmhurst, the biggest of the half. 34-26. Ken Madsen may need to think about spending a timeout here shortly. Instead, Brooks will step to the line. The senior out of Asheville, North Carolina. One of only 2 seniors on this Wheaton team. That's what's been interesting about their rise to the top of the CCIW this year. They've done it with a relatively young squad as the first free throw falls in from Brooks. 5 freshmen on the squad for the Thunder, 2 seniors, 2 juniors, and 3 sophomores. Free throw from Brooks is short, and Fitz, who hit a 3 earlier, converts on the rebound. Fitz, Maisto, Harris, Ney, and Monroe for the Blue Jays. Harris lobbing in the lane for Ney, who was surrounded, and she was held up on the play. 7th foul against Wheaton. Megan Ney to shoot 2, or 1 and 1, I should say. The Blue Jays are a perfect 5 of 5 at the line here in the opening half, and I knock on the table as I say that. It is made of wood rather than ceramic, or fake wood, whatever fake wood might be. Oh, there's wooden bleachers around me, as producer Glenn points out as well. Our crack crew here on Blue Jay TV. The lead is again 8 for Elmhurst at 35-27 with 3:10 to play. Or I can't add, it's 9, 36-27. Potts towards Olsen, high left. Into the lane, Brenneman wasn't ready. Brooks recovers, baseline left and a double dribble. Wheaton, sensing a change in the momentum, will spend a timeout. A 30-second timeout. Elmhurst leading by 9 with 2:52 to play in the first half. This is Blue Jay TV. From R.A. Faginal Hall on the campus of Elmhurst College, I am Jay Cutler. No, I'm not. I'm Tim Calderwood, broadcasting on Blue Jay TV for you today as Elmhurst opening a doubleheader against Wheaton College with women's basketball action. The Blue Jays leading by 9, 36-27. Wheaton spending a timeout. The Thunder have some work cut out for them here with 2:45 to play in the half. Elmhurst on the verge of grabbing a double-digit lead. Fitz trying the left side of the lane. Leads Monroe. Back to Fitz in the corner. Head and shoulder fake. Drives into the lane. Floats home a 6-footer off the back iron. Brooks the board. Brenneman ahead to Olsen, who could have pushed to the basket. Instead, the Thunder will try to slow it down. Probably not a bad idea here. Olsen slinging for Brooks. Tosses up a 7-footer. Knocked out of bounds. Jordan Maisto taking it up the floor for the Blue Jays, who have been led in scoring here in the first half by Megan Ney. 10 points. 4 of 4 from the free throw line, 3 of 8 from the floor. Ney with the basketball. Going court wide towards Harris at the free throw line. Harris has it knocked away. Stolen by Karsten. Carson on the move, trying to take it coast to coast. Blocked by Ney. Second block of the contest for the Blue Jays. Good job by Megan Ney of giving back and not giving an inch defensively. With less than 2 minutes to play in the opening 20, the Blue Jays continue to lead by 9. Here is Olsen into the corner for Karsten. Three-pointer, no. Weak side rebound belongs to Fitz. Brooks is on the floor. Elmhurst with numbers if they hurry. Looking for Ney, who is posting and calling for the basketball. Found herself wide open and now outside the post. Fails to hit the 7-footer. Blue Jays were a little slow to recognize that Brooks couldn't get back, and now Brooks the other way with a bucket for the Thunder. Megan Ney found herself all alone underneath the basket. But by the time the Blue Jays worked it into the post, Brooks was back. And Brooks on the other end converted on a bucket as well. 1 minute to play in the first half. Maisto spotting up. Corner left, three-pointer is good. The fourth three-pointer of the half for the Blue Jays, coming from 4 different individuals. 10-point lead, 39-29. Olsen. Bothered by Maisto, leaning in, sensing the contact, and 2 free throws upcoming. Brooke Olsen with 2 points in the ball game. Both have come at the free throw line very early on for the sophomore out of Winfield. 75% shooter on the year, 54 of 72. She has more makes and attempts than any member on this Wheaton squad. 40 and 5/10 to play in the half. Olsen again. as Devin Vaughn slings to Fitz in the corner. Along the baseline, throwing it away. Brennan with the steal, but it's knocked on the ground off the foot of Monroe. 39-31 is the score. Scoreboard had some issues there a moment ago. Shot clock has gone dark, and Wheaton will look to score here. They go into the lane for Brooks, too strong. Rebound is loose, out of bounds, last touch by Potts. Kind of surprised Wheaton did not opt to hold for the final shot there. Instead, they're going to give Elmhurst an opportunity to own a double-digit lead into the locker room. Vaughn with 7 to work with. Knocked into the crowd, 3 rows deep by the alert hands of Laura Carson, and a timeout for Elmhurst. A 30-second timeout to try to set something up here with 4.5 to play. 39-31 is the score. Elmhurst with the lead. Coming up at the break, we'll have some numbers for you. We'll run down the CCIW standings, talk about those other games going on in the College Conference of Illinois and Wisconsin today. We'll maybe talk some men's basketball to get you ready for the 7:30 start between Elmhurst and Wheaton. And we'll also talk about what else is occurring around the land of Elmhurst College athletics. All that comes your way at the break, which is in 4.5 seconds. As the Blue Jays lead it 39-31. And we'll have an opportunity to add to it here. Let's see what Tethny Werner opted to draw up. Maisto will inbound to Vaughn. Faking right, leaning in at the elbow, throws it up, no, and we have reached the half. Not a bad call for Devin Vaughn, driving towards the basket, a little too strong, however, but got the look the Blue Jays wanted. And we have reached the intermission here in Elmhurst with the Blue Jays leading Wheaton 39-31. Don't go anywhere. We'll have all that I was talking about moments ago and so much more coming your way in just a few moments. This is Blue Jay TV.
Had a great experience at Elmhurst. I really have. I think that the college is all about making the individual well-rounded, and I do think that I have grown up a lot since I've been at college. I've played soccer and I'm in the nursing program. Kind of everything just fell together. The team was just so nice and welcome. My freshman year we went to Brazil for preseason, and that was the coolest thing ever. So it was just our team. We stayed at this big soccer resort, and there was all these fields and all these little kids playing, and then we just had our own field, and we played against different Brazilian teams. It's been great, and I've made so many new friends. The soccer aspect, I think that I've kind of got a family there, and I just love it.
Playing college football 4 years is very tough, but it's also very, very rewarding. And I think this past year is just a tribute to the hard work that I put in these past 3 years, and the team did. I mean, we won the most football games since 1985. That was probably the biggest highlight of my 4 years here. We had our ups and we had our downs, and I think we just stayed together through those and persevered together. Well, my professional goal is to teach and coach. You know, I definitely want to coach football. I got the experience from the 4 years at Elmhurst, which is going to be very beneficial for coaching experience in the future.
I have had a great experience at Elmhurst. I'm obviously involved with the volleyball program. We're like sisters. It was instant friends as soon as I came here. Every year, the seniors get to pick places where we want to go for a tournament. So we've been to California, Colorado, Boston, and it's just been a fun experience because not only do we play volleyball, we also get to do touristy types of things. I would say we're pretty close because we practice 5 days a week for 2.5 hours. We're lifting, we're doing bonding things, and we're traveling on the weekends. So you're pretty much with these girls for 3 months every single day for hours. So we're all pretty close.
Halftime in Elmhurst. Tim Calderwood with you on Blue Jay TV as the Blue Jays leading 39-31 in what has been a very solid start to the contest. These are the first half statistics, but as always, I'm going to tease you. You'll have to wait to hear some of those. What we'll do first is examine the CCIW standings entering play today and check on that scoreboard to let you know what else is going on around the College Conference of Illinois and Wisconsin. Let's take a look at the standings. Illinois Wesleyan, presently unbeaten in the CCIW. They are 5-0 and 13-3 overall. Millikin, 4-1. Wheaton, 4-1. Both are tied for second. Millikin is 12-4. Wheaton is 11-4. Carthage, 3-2. The Lady Reds are 12-4 overall. Elmhurst, 7-9, 2-3. Today, looking to win back-to-back games for just the second time this season. It'll be the first time in the CCIW, should the score hold up. North Park, 1-4, 7-9. The Vikings have been woed by some injuries of late. On Tuesday, Roxanne Jones, who had been their leading scorer for majority of the contest, had to leave the floor late in the ball game. They're also without Sarah Peterson, who has been the leading scorer for the Vikings this year, so they've kind of stumbled a bit to a 1-4 start in a year where they were hoping to take a step perhaps to compete towards the conference tournament, but there's still a lot of basketball to be played, and they certainly have that opportunity of yet. North Central, they are 1-4 in the CCIW and 5-11 overall, tied with North Park. Meanwhile, Augustana, as we mentioned, the lone winless team in the conference. The Vikings are 4-12 and 0-5 in the CCIW. And as I turn my attention to this side over here, I'll tell you what's going on today. Millikin victorious at home over Carthage, 46-44 at the halftime. Illinois Wesleyan leading at North Park, 42-29. And the other score currently also at the break, Augustana seeking that first CCIW win, leading 32-30 at home against North Central. So those are the scores and stories from around the CCIW as the Blue Jays leading 39-31 at the break here in Elmhurst. Time for another stoppage. When we return, we'll talk about what else is going on in the world of Elmhurst College athletics, including with the men's basketball team as we look ahead to the nightcap of our doubleheader, a 7:30 start between Elmhurst and Wheaton in men's basketball action. This is Blue Jay TV.
Wrestling here has been great. I've been able to achieve some of my goals I've set for myself, and I guess coming to a smaller school in wrestling, I got to be able to start right away and wrestle every year so far. Coming here and be able to compete right away is great. Since coming here in wrestling, I'm a 3-time All-American. I won a national championship this year, went undefeated, 2-time conference champion, conference outstanding wrestler this year. Me and Coach Marinette are pretty close. I go in there all the time and talk to him, not just about wrestling. And since coming here, I've been able to relate closer to my team and the coaches and stuff.
We're actually really good this year. There's 23 of us on the team, so it's quite a large team. We were close friends. A lot of the teammates lived together with other teammates. In high school, I wasn't the most organized person because sports were just kind of like a side note in high school. Here, you have to really balance yourself. Division III, it's more academics first, softball second. So our coach really strives on the academic portion of the school. And I mean, just like yesterday, we had a game. I went to class and came late to the game instead, but the game was canceled, luckily. Softball's really kind of taught me some organization skills, I guess.
I wasn't sure getting out of high school if I wanted to bowl in college, but after I graduated high school, I knew that there wasn't any way I was gonna not be able to do it. So I'm glad that I came to Elmhurst because it gave me that chance. Last year was a good year, had the first winning record for the team. I really like being on the team. It brings a lot of people together and it makes it a lot easier to meet other people. We're with each other 24/7 on the weekends when we have tournaments and 3 days a week for practice. Some of us work out together, go to dinner together. It's nice having those close friends to always fall back on if you need something, and they're always willing to help.
39-31, Elmhurst leading Wheaton at the half here at R.A. Faginal Hall. So glad you're with us on Blue Jay TV. I'm Tim Calderwood. Let's talk about what else is going on in the world of Elmhurst College athletics. Told you we'd preview the men's contest coming up here in a few moments. 7:30 is the scheduled start as Elmhurst will host Wheaton in men's basketball tonight. A contest that can, of course, be seen live here on Blue Jay TV. Elmhurst is coming into the matchup on the heels of a victory over North Park on Wednesday, 65-54. The win over North Park snapped what was a 3-game losing streak for the Blue Jays, who sit at 2-3 in the CCIW and 7-9 overall. Their opponent will be Wheaton, one of the preseason favorites, who has been one of the most disappointing teams in the CCIW this season as well. The Thunder opened the season with a 10-2 mark. However, they've lost 3 of their last 4, including a 10-point defeat at Illinois Wesleyan on Wednesday. So they find themselves sitting in a tie for the 4th and final spot in the CCIW standings as a team that was projected to be right up there among the best of them. Augustana on the men's side continuing to lead the way as the Vikings are a perfect 16-0 and 5-0 in the CCIW. One of their best starts in school history. In fact, a win tonight would give them their best start in school history, as tonight Augustana will be hosting North Central in what is a big game. So Wheaton is 11-5 and 2-3, the same exact record as the Blue Jays entering play this evening. Should be a good one in men's basketball action. Tip-off scheduled for 7:30. Meanwhile, basketball not the only goings-on in the world of Elmhurst College athletics. Track and field season has started, surprisingly, as scary as that might seem. I know it's kind of cold outside, especially a couple days ago, but it is indoor track and field, and the men's and women's indoor track and field teams will open the competition portion of their schedule next weekend, 1 week from today, in fact, as they travel to the University of Chicago. So they have that to look forward to down the stretch. Also, the wrestling team is in action today. The wrestlers are 8-3 on the season. They lost at North Central earlier this week by the score of 22-18. And don't forget, we're not done with wrestling here on Blue Jay TV. We will have the championship round for you of the CCIW Championships on February 10th. The meet itself is scheduled for a 5 o'clock start, and again, we will carry the championship rounds for you live here on Blue Jay TV as the Elmhurst wrestling program, ranked nationally this season, looking to take a step forward. Today, they are wrestling in Whitewater, Wisconsin at the Border Brawl. So that's what else is going on in the world of Elmhurst College athletics. Here it is at the half with the Elmhurst women leading Wheaton by the score of 39-31. We'll have first half numbers coming your way in just moments, along with the start of the second half. This is Blue Jay TV.
Had a great experience at Elmhurst. I really have. I think that the college is all about making the individual well-rounded, and I do think that I have grown up a lot since I've been at college. I've played soccer and I'm in the nursing program. Kind of everything just fell together. The team was just so nice and welcome. My freshman year we went to Brazil for preseason, and that was the coolest thing ever. So it was just our team. We stayed at this big soccer resort, and there was all these fields and all these little kids playing, and then we just had our own field, and we played against different Brazilian teams. It's been great, and I've made so many new friends. The soccer aspect, I think that I've kind of got a family there, and I just love it.
Nearing the start of the second half here on Blue Jay TV, Elmhurst 39, Wheaton 31. Elmhurst in the first half shooting 40% from the floor, 14 out of 35. The Blue Jays were a perfect 7 of 7 from the free throw line, and they were 4 of 9 from three-point range, 44%. Wheaton, meanwhile, 33% in the opening 20 minutes of play, 10 of 30. They struggled from three-point range, 2 of 7, 29%. But did reach the free throw line 12 times in the first half, finishing 9 of 12. Individually, leading scorers for Wheaton, Annie Bowen with 9, Laura Karsten with 7, 5 for Kelly Brooks off of the bench, 4 each from Brooke Olson and Lindsey Brenneman. Elizabeth Potts with 2 points, the only other scorer for the Thunder. Elmhurst led by 10 points and 5 rebounds from Megan Ney, 8 points for Kelsey Monroe, 6 points for Megan Merklin, 4 from C.J. Harris, 3 from Devin Vaughn, Jordan Maisto, and Megan Fitz. Also in the scoring column, Stephanie Mitchell with a pair for the Blue Jays, who open with possession here in the second half. 39-31 is the score, as the Blue Jays leading by 8, trying to target Megan Ney to open the second half, much like they did in the first half of play, to no avail. Here come the Thunder in transition, and Merklin swats away the shot. Each team turned the ball over 8 times in the first half. What is surprising about that is Wheaton only turned those 8 Elmhurst turnovers into 3 points, while Elmhurst turned those 8 Wheaton turnovers into an even dozen. First half of play saw 6 ties and 1 lead change. Bowen in the lane over the top of Merklin. Shot rolls off to the left where Megan Ney controls rebound number 6. Elmhurst out-rebounded Wheaton in the first half, 23-20. Each team with 6 rebounds on the offensive end. In the lane for Merklin with a hook shot up and in. Suffice it to say that Wheaton has their work cut out for him here in the second half if Elmhurst continues to play as they are currently. They prove to be a thorn in the side of the Thunder, who are looking to avoid dropping back-to-back CCIW games. Bowen lost the basketball. Here comes Joyner to the left elbow. Rotating onto the right edge for Monroe. The Thunder, in fact, looking to avoid back-to-back losses for the first time this year. Here's Merklin in the lane from Ney over the top of Elizabeth Potts. 43-31, the lead is 12 for the Blue Jays. The largest lead in the first half for Elmhurst was 10, so they currently have their largest lead of the ball game. And Bowen lost it again. It's loose on the floor. Jump ball is called. It'll stay with Wheaton. First substitution already for the Thunder, as Kelly Brooks will replace Potts in the post. Brooks was on the floor for 11 minutes in the first half of play. She has the basketball above her head. To Bowen at the free throw line. Out to the right edge, Karsten bouncing back to Bowen at the free throw line, an air ball. Rebound for Carson over the top of Harris. Adjusted the shot and Harris commits the foul. First foul on C.J. Harris. Carson is at the line for the Thunder and converting. Laura Karsten's first free throws of the day. 93% shooter. Doesn't get much better. 27 out of 29. And I jinxed her there. Monroe will walk it ahead for the Blue Jays. Left-hand dribble to Harris. In front of the Elmhurst bench, tied up. Good defense for Karsten. And the arrow remains with Elmhurst. Again, men's contest scheduled for a 7:30 start here on Blue Jay TV. How about Megan Ney? 10 first half points, a bucket here, and a 13-point lead for the Blue Jays. 45-32. Brenneman to Brooks on the right wing. Starting to move with the left hand, working on Ney. Triggering a 15-footer at the right edge. Nope. Away comes Joyner. To Merklin at the right turn. Drives left, bounces for Ney, swatted by Bowen, knocked out of bounds. Elmhurst retains possession. Off the bench is Maris Hovey. .22 to play. Harris throws it away. Karsten, all by herself in the lane, changing directions and heading to the free throw line where she split a pair moments ago. Laura Karsten out of Grand Haven, Michigan. Attended Western Michigan Christian. Second leading scorer for the Thunder this season at 13.6. However, she has played in only 11 of the 15 games this year. Missed a few contests. Splitting the free throws again. 45-33. The Thunder will try to trap. And the Blue Jays ease it across. No problems at all in handling the light Wheaton press. Joyner, left-hand dribble around a screen for Merklin. Takes to the basket, too long over the top of Hovey. But it'll go out of bounds to the Thunder. Wheaton with an opportunity to pull within 10 here. Olsen pops out. Bounces for Hovey over the top of Merklin and in, using the window. 45-35. Elmhurst leading by 10, and Carson gunning for the steal. Joyner looked up and forgot that Carson was there, knocked the ball away. Merklin on the right wing. Brooks with a hand in her face. Harris goes cross court for Merklin. Caught her defender flat-footed. Knifes to the hole. And Megan Merklin will step to the free throw line. Merklin with 21 points in the victory over North Park Tuesday night. 6 in the first half today. And heading to the line. 2 of 2 from the free throw line in the first half for Merklin. Averaging 11.7 points per ball game out of Plainfield, Illinois. The all-conference choice a year ago here in the CCIW. Missing the second free throw. The rebound is chased down by Olsen. Into the corner it goes for Bolin, who has it knocked away. Hovey chases it down, however. In the right corner, it's free again, off of Hovey. Turnovers weren't much of a problem in the first half for either side, 8 apiece. I'm sure coaches will tell you that they would like to have that number a little bit lower, but it's well below pace to be under each team's average. However, Elmhurst was able to convert on those turnovers. Wheaton turning the ball over just over 16 times a game. Elmhurst at 19.3 per contest. And the Blue Jays turn it over here. The 11-point edge, 46-35. Each team with a pair of turnovers here in the second half. Karsten targets Brooks, and it's knocked away. Brooks was hoping for a hand in the back call against Ney. Devin Vaughn is off the bench, replacing Ney. Allows the Blue Jays to work with another ball handler out on the floor. Bolin in the corner with 15 to shoot. Here's Carson on the move in the lane, pulling up, 13-footer off the front iron, falls through. Shooters roll for Karsten. 46-37. Monroe, left corner, high for Harris, 15 to shoot. Back to Monroe. Back and forth they go, and Monroe buries the three-pointer. Second make from the land of three for Monroe today. Back to a 12-point advantage, 49-37. Brooks with a long two, short off the front iron. Rebound for Carson, who dribbles to the basket and has an uncontested layup. Scanning the crowd, I do see some green and yellow of that other team that the Bears are playing this weekend. Monroe swatted. Away comes Bolin, leading a 3-on-2, bouncing for Olsen. Give and go for Karsten. They'll wave off the basket. And an offensive foul is called. Kent Madsen immediately to his feet says, wait a minute here, wait a minute. The acting head coach of the Thunder. It's a break for the Blue Jays, however. Officiating crew this evening, Rhonda Mott, Jen Washoe, Tyrone Adams. Monroe from the left corner again for three. It worked on the last trip. Why not try it again? Monroe heating up. 14 points in the ball game. 52-39. And a foul. Wheaton perhaps sensing that the only way they're going to get back into this contest is by forcing the Blue Jays into some foul trouble, attacking the basket. They did shoot 12 free throws in the first half and have already shot 4 free throws here in the second, but Brooks cannot make do. If you're going to try to get to the line, you need to hit those free throws. Megan Fitz on the floor for the Blue Jays. Substitutions each way. We'll reset the floor in just moments. 13:36 to go. Kelly Brooks looking to come away with at least a point for the Thunder. Her second free throw attempt is good. Vaughn, Fitz, Joyner, Merklin, and Ney for the Blue Jays. Potts, Olsen, Brenneman, Hovey, and Brooks for the Thunder. Fitz rotating left as Joyner pops out. Joyner starting to move. In the lane for Ney. Over the top of Hovey, off the back iron. Olsen controls the rebound. Olsen into the left corner for Brenneman. Spotting up, big rainmaker. And the Thunder have trimmed it to 9, 52-43. A huge three-pointer for Wheaton. Merklin looking to answer. Bouncing to Joyner in the corner with 13 to shoot. Back to Merklin. Ney is posting and calling, but she's double teamed. They find Ney. Over the top of Hovey, it's an air ball. And Brenneman cleans up. Potts takes to the basket and is bothered on the way. First foul on Megan Fitz. And the fourth foul against the Blue Jays. 2 shots upcoming for Elizabeth Potts. The free throw is good. Glad you're with us here on Blue Jay TV. Our next production will be on January 29th. 1 week from today, Augustana College. Women's basketball at 5 and the men to follow at 7:30. C.J. Harris spinning to the left edge of the lane, off the window and through. Should mention that we will have live audio coverage for you from North Central on Tuesday and Wednesday. Women on Tuesday, men on Wednesday. 54-45. Hovey high left. Isolated on the right side, bothered by Mitchell. It wouldn't fall in, but free throws upcoming. The Thunder have been to the line 20 times already. Elmhurst just 9. First free throws of the contest for Hovey. Good. Hovey only 5 of 18 at the line this season, 27%. Didn't look like it on the first attempt. To bring the Thunder within 7. Off to the right, but Hovey follows her miss and blew the open layup. My goodness. Knew the shot was off the mark. Nobody boxed out. Collected the rebound and then missed the layup. And a foul against Wheaton the other way in transition. Brooke Olson with her third. 11:43 to play, so plenty of time in the game. Fitz off of a screen. A set play on an inbounds. No, but Mitchell with the rebound, and Mitchell on the way to the line. Stephanie Mitchell, the sophomore out of Roscommon, Michigan, averaging 2.2 points per ball game. Stepping to the line after the foul on Hovey, her first. First free throw is good from Mitchell, 71% this season, 15 of 21. To push it back to double digits, 56-46. Laura Karsten returning for the Thunder. Harris, Vaughn, Fitz, Joyner, and Mitchell for the Blue Jays. Olson, Hovey, Karsten, Bowen, and Brenneman for the Thunder. Here is Brenneman, coast to coast, forced to clear out. High to Olson, back to Brenneman, looking to lob. Bowen is posting. Mitchell on her defensively. Good job of fronting. Here's Olson to the basket, and a foul again. The 6th against Elmhurst, and more free throws for the Thunder. Second foul against Rashida Joyner. Brooke Olson is 4 of 4 at the line. And misses here off the front of the rim. Kim Schwartman replaces Rashida Joyner on the floor. Splitting the pair of free throws. Bowen, though, targeting the inbounds pass into the corner for Olson. Three-pointer off the back iron, banking around, knocked out of bounds off of Harris. Kind of a careless play by the Blue Jays and an alert play. Credit Annie Bowen, who did not give up on the play. Brooke Olson struggling to inbound the basketball. Finally to Bowen, who has it blocked by Harris. Bowen recovers underneath, dumps off for Brenneman, no. And Harris holds her ground for the rebound. Nearly throws it away again. Here's Vaughn carrying the basketball. Vaughn handling the point guard duties for the Blue Jays. Perhaps a little too aggressive towards the basket. Forgot to take the ball with her. 56-47. Brenneman up top for Hovey, who's been on the floor for a while for the Thunder. Lobbing for Bowen. Contact with Harris to no avail. Schwartman into the lane for Mitchell, who's surrounded. Clearing out for Meisto. Back around the arc it goes. Vaughn in the left corner, high for Meisto. Over towards Schwartman. Shot clock down to 10. Harris will try a three off the back iron. And Hovey with the rebound. Karsten for a three of her own in the right corner. Perhaps a little too quick. Short on the attempt. And the Blue Jays will slow it up as we reach the midway point of the second half. It is a 9-point Elmhurst lead. Harris lobbing for Mitchell. Underneath, you bet. Stephanie Werner was attempting to call the timeout there. But Wheaton inbounded the basketball before the Blue Jays were able to. Elmhurst by 11 with 9:37 to play. Olson with a long three off the back iron. Bowen using every bit of her vertical to reach for the rebound, but it was about a foot over her head. Mitchell, low left. Hovey with a rebound. Karsten slowing it down. Karsten taking against Harris, leaning in. Floater from 12. Into the corner, it's Schwertman with a rebound. And now Schwertman leading a 2-on-1. Bouncing for Mitchell in the lane. Up and in. And a timeout for Elmhurst. 9:01 to play. 60-47, Elmhurst by 13. You got a timeout on the floor. This is Blue Jay TV.
Had a great experience at Elmhurst. I really have. I think that the college is all about making the individual like well-rounded, and I do think that I have grown up a lot since I've been at college. I've played soccer and I'm in the nursing program. Kind of everything just fell together. The team was just so like nice and welcome. My freshman year we went to Brazil for preseason, and that was like the coolest thing ever. So it was just our team. We stayed at this big like soccer resort, and there was like all these fields and all these little kids playing, and then we just had our own field, and we played against different Brazilian teams. It's been great, and I've made so many new friends. The soccer aspect, I think that I've kind of got a family there, and I just love it.
See, I told you there was a Packer fan in attendance. A brave man to be wearing those colors in these parts. 60-47, Elmhurst leading by 13 with 9:01 to play. Let's take a tour around the CCIW currently. Augustana clawing for their first CCIW victory, even at 53 at home in Rock Island with 5:32 to play. A final from earlier. Milliken over Carthage, 46-44 in Decatur. And with just over 8 minutes to play, Illinois Wesleyan leading at North Park, 59-44, in what's been a scrappy game there as well. Third foul against Kim Schwartman, the 7th against Elmhurst. And so now the Thunder are in the bonus. Brooke Olson with the honors, 5 of 6 today. Hitting on attempt number 1. Olsen with 6 points in the contest, all from the line. Elmhurst continuing to lead by a dozen. The second free throw is good. Wheaton pulled to within 7 at one point here in the second half, but they have not been any closer. Elmhurst has done a good job of keeping their arm out and denying the Thunder to go on any runs that could push them back into the game. Maisto on the move, bouncing for Schwartman. To the left corner, Ney, 10 to shoot. Starting to move against Brooks. Fakes right, comes back left and hits. Nice spin move for Megan Ney, 62-49. Brenneman between the rings. Tries the left edge, denied. Bowen posting in the lane, over the top of Merklin. No, good job defensively. Merklin in the left corner, open, three-pointer, nope. Offensive rebound for Schwartman. Outside the paint, will it fall? It will. But a foul is called against Schwartman before the shot, an offensive foul. And Lauren Rhodes re-enters for the Blue Jays. Rhodes, Maisto, Ney, Merklin, Monroe, the 5 for Elmhurst. Bowen, Potts, Brooks, Brenneman, and Olsen for Wheaton. Potts up and in, strong to the basket. Thought it was a little too hard, but kind of finessed its way through. 62-51, Elmhurst leading by 11 with 7:20 to play. Well, 62 points on the board gets me wondering about Elmhurst's total this year, and an offensive foul. Now their highest output, 87 points at McMurray back on December 8th. After that, their second highest total, 72 in a win over California Lutheran, 72-71. Only 4 times this season have the Blue Jays been at 70 points or better. And in those contests, they are 3-1. 10 to shoot for the Thunder. Olsen starts to move. Lost the handle, it's on the floor. Bowen scoops it up and travels. A lot of times that'll end up happening when you're out of position and out of rhythm as well. Joyner rotating for Monroe in the corner. Up high to Ney at the left elbow, leaning in from 14, rimming out. And a rebound for Carson, who then lost her footing. A travel hands it back to the Blue Jays. .6:31 to play. Monroe looking to inbound again. Ney will set a screen, roll out towards the bucket. And high it comes for Joyner, using a screen from Ney again. To Rhodes, towards the right corner. Plenty of time to work with here for the Blue Jays. Rhodes at the right elbow, bouncing for Merklin now with 10 to shoot. All by herself on the right edge, bouncing in the lane and stepping in front is Olsen. Olsen with the steal, looking to beat Ney back to the basket. Nope. Solid defense by Megan Ney to force Olsen to work. Tried to draw the whistle. And the Blue Jays continue to lead by 11. With less than 6 minutes to go. Here's Merklin at the right turn. Three-pointer rims its way through. Megan Merklin with her first make from bonus distance. Double digits for Merklin with 14. 65-51 and a quick one and done for the Thunder. Well, they have not been able to follow their shots very much here in the second half. Ney, left of the paint, off the glass and through. And a timeout for Wheaton. The largest lead of the game for Elmhurst. 67-51. The Blue Jay fans rise to their feet here at R.A. Faginal Hall. It's a full timeout with 5:10 to play, and we step aside. This is Blue Jay TV.
I've had a great experience at Elmhurst. I really have. I think that the college is all about making the individual well-rounded, and I do think that I have grown up a lot since I've been at college. I played soccer and I'm in the nursing program. Kind of everything just fell together. The team was just so nice and welcome. My freshman year we went to Brazil for preseason, and that was the coolest thing ever. So it was just our team. We stayed at this big soccer resort, and there was all these fields and all these little kids playing, and then we just had our own field, and we played against different Brazilian teams. It's been great, and I've made so many new friends. The soccer aspect, I think that I've kind of got a family there, and I just love it.
.5:10 to go in the game, and Elmhurst with the largest lead of the day, 16 points at 67-51. A timeout for the Thunder. They have 3 remaining. Need to start scoring points in bunches. Brenneman off a screen will try an 18-footer on the right edge. Hovey follows it up on the weak side. 67-53. Joyner working her way across the stripe to the right edge for Rhodes. On the move, Hovey bothers her. The Thunder get their hands in the passing lane. Karsten forces the steal. Here is Olsen taking down the center of the lane. Left the layup short. That is not the first time that Wheaton has missed a wide open layup tonight. The Blue Jays are in a position where they can start to run some clock. With just over 4 minutes remaining, here's Merklin at the right turn. A three-pointer is long. Harris chases down the rebound. Rashida Joyner with the ball on her left hip. Starts to work as we near 4 minutes to play. Monroe to the top of the arc. Over towards Harris, dribbling with the right hand. Rhodes pops out, working on Karsten. 10 to shoot. Here's Joyner against Olsen. Resetting. Joyner will step back, banking home a long three-pointer. Rashida Joyner with a three-pointer, her first three-pointer of the game. The Blue Jays with 8 three-pointers today, coming from 6 different individuals. As Kelly Brooks completes easily at the other end. The magical 70-point plateau for the Blue Jays, 3-1 this season when reaching 70 or more. With 3:21 to play, they lead 70-55 and a timeout for Elmhurst. A 30-second timeout. The Blue Jays leading by 15. This is Blue Jay TV. Elmhurst down to 2 timeouts with 3:21 to play here on Blue Jay TV. Tim Calderwood with you. And the Blue Jays looking for a big home win. It would hand them back-to-back victories for just the second time this year and for the first time in CCIW play. It would also put Elmhurst at 500 in the conference, 3-3, which would tie them for 4th and bring them within a game of 3rd. Wheaton 4-1 entering play this evening. Their lone loss was on Wednesday. A jump ball is called as Brooks falls on top. Alternate possession heads to the Thunder. Megan Ney checks in for Elmhurst. Ney, Joyner, Merklin, Harris, Monroe. The starting 5 for the Blue Jays. Brooks, Brenneman, Olsen, Potts, and Karsten for the Thunder. Here is Potts, left of the paint to an open Olsen for 3. Good. 70-58. The Thunder came roaring back on Wednesday at Illinois Wesleyan to pull within 2. Looking to do the same in their second consecutive road contest as Merklin scoops to the bucket. 14-point advantage, 72-58. And a reminder once again, we will have a men's game for you, 7:30 scheduled tip. 7:30 Elmhurst and Wheaton men's basketball. Potts in the corner, up to Brooks. To the left side in the lane, blocked from behind. Merklin with a piece, Monroe the rebound. Less than 2 minutes to play. A 14-point advantage for the Blue Jays. Merklin in the left corner. Dribbling to her right, picking it up. Wants some help. Rotates left for Monroe with 10 to shoot. Outsteps Joyner. Here's Harris lobbing in the lane for Ney. Too long, who throws it away. Olsen the steal. Olsen working against Joyner to the basket. Lays it in. 72-60 with 1:25 to play. Wheaton put on a trap earlier. They try to trap a little bit here. Rashida Joyner takes her time, working it ahead. Coming up on a minute to play. Monroe into the corner for Merklin along the baseline, off the glass and home. 74-60, a 14-point Elmhurst lead. Kelly Brooks tries a three. It's short, and Harris boxes out Brooks. And it doesn't look like Wheaton will try to foul the Blue Jays here with 40 seconds to play. And that means that Elmhurst will win back-to-back games for just the second time this year. Kelsey Monroe spotting up on the left edge. Three-pointer won't go. Harris, though, fighting for the rebound. The shot clock is off. The crowd rises to their feet. Elmhurst will tick out the clock. Wheaton with other ideas, though, pressuring Joyner with 10 seconds to play. Moments ago, what you saw was the story of the game. Elmhurst, even with the game in the hands, never gave up, competed until the final horn, and scores a big victory at home. 74-60 is the final score as the Blue Jays improve to 8-9 on the year and 3-3 in the CCIW, while Wheaton drops to 11-5. They are 4-2 in the College Conference of Illinois and Wisconsin. We'll come back in just moments with Elmhurst College head coach Tefney Werner. We'll chat with her, have some final statistics for you as well, tell you about the finals around the CCIW today, update the standings, and then we'll pause before our men's broadcast here on Blue Jay TV. The crowd again on their feet, providing the Blue Jays with a round of applause as Elmhurst records the big win at home, 74-60. This is Blue Jay TV.
Had a great experience at Elmhurst. I really have. I think that the college is all about making the individual well-rounded, and I do think that I have grown up a lot since I've been at college. I played soccer and I'm in the nursing program. Kind of everything just fell together. The team was just so nice and welcome. My freshman year we went to Brazil for preseason, and that was the coolest thing ever. So it was just our team. We stayed at this big soccer resort, and there was all these fields and all these little kids playing, and then we just had our own field, and we played against different Brazilian teams. It's been great, and I've made so many new friends. The soccer aspect, I think that I've kind of got a family there, and I just love it.
Final score, Elmhurst 74, Wheaton 60 here on Blue Jay TV. Tim Calderwood joined by the victorious head coach of the Blue Jays, Tefney Werner, and I notice you're looking over the final numbers here. Coach, you changed things up on Tuesday in the win against North Park with a different starting lineup. You come back out today, change it up again. Would you say the message was received from Tuesday to today, I guess?
I would say so. And I know I always feel bad for the other team because they have no idea who we're going to start. But really, this whole year, it's just been whoever's willing to show up and practice. We really put a lot of emphasis on practice. And if you're going to, the only way you get better is by practicing hard. So if we reward them into that starting spot if they practice hard.
I think one of the biggest keys for you today was the way you guys came out and kind of set the tone from the outset of the game.
They were ready. And to be honest, we did not have a very good practice at all. It was cut short because of how we weren't executing yesterday. So they came out, credit to them, to the players, because they really, they wanted it bad.
To the 500 mark in the CCIW, you're sitting at 3-3 now. Just the second time this year that you've been able to win back-to-back games. What does a win like this mean for your program?
This was huge. With Wheaton only having one loss to Illinois Wesleyan and Wheaton already beating Carthage, it was really big for us to get this win. It kind of keeps us right in the race right there, because I really think, there's going to be a battle for those spots right there.
Looking ahead on the schedule, up next, North Central. Tell me about the Cardinals.
My assistants right now will know more than them. They spent today up there. North Central, I think, is going to play us a little bit more zone, so I think we have to be ready for that. But they're a scrappy team, especially playing on the road. It's different than playing here, so we all have to be ready.
Anthony Warner, the head coach of the Blue Jays. Congratulations, 74-60 win over Wheaton. Thanks for dropping by.
Thank you.
Back with the final numbers in moments on Blue Jay TV.
I've had a great experience at Elmhurst. I'm obviously involved with the volleyball program. We're like sisters. It was instant friends as soon as I came here. Every year, the seniors get to pick places where we want to go for a tournament. So we've been to California, Colorado, Boston, and it's just been a fun experience because not only do we play volleyball, we also get to do touristy types of things. I would say we're pretty close because we practice 5 days a week for 2.5 hours. We're lifting, we're doing bonding things, and we're traveling on the weekends. So you're pretty much with these girls for 3 months every single day for hours. So we're all pretty close.
Programming note for you between games of our doubleheader here after I sign off. We will sign off on Blue Jay TV. And we'll come back on about 10 minutes or so before the start of the men's contest. The men's team, as you might be able to see, warming up in the background. Elmhurst and Wheaton battling 7:30 tip-off in the contest. Thanks to Tethany Warner for dropping by, chatting about the victory. The Blue Jays have a couple very winnable games upcoming on the schedule. To get to 500 was huge for Elmhurst in the CCIW, but now they have an opportunity looking ahead at North Central and home against Augustana next week to potentially work their way to 5-3, which would put them right back into the mix of the discussion for a potential CCIW tournament bid. So that's looking down the road, and of course, as always in the CCIW and in any conference, you can never look ahead, have to take it one game at a time, and that's what the Blue Jays did here today as Elmhurst took care of Wheaton by the score of 74-60. Let's take a look at some of the final numbers, a couple of key points that I want to talk about in this one. 8 3-pointers for the Blue Jays in the game. They finished 8 of 17, 47% from three-point range. That was really a huge difference in the contest. Elmhurst put the game away in the second half by shooting 54%, 14 of 26. They held a commanding 10-rebound lead on the glass, 44-34 in the contest as well, and overcame 19 turnovers. Wheaton did a better job in the second half of turning turnovers into points. Remember, they had only 2 points off of turnovers in the first half. They finished with 13 points off of turnovers in the ball game. Elmhurst led by as many as 17 on their way to the 14-point victory. For the ball game, Wheaton shoots only 32%, 19 of 59. They were 4 of 13 from three-point range, 31%, and worked their way to the free throw line 26 times, but only shot 69% from the line, which was a pretty good number, but it's below their season average, as they were 18 of 26. Leading scorers for the Thunder, Laura Karsten with 13, Brooke Olson with 12, Annie Bowen with 9, Kelly Brooks off of the bench with 8, 7 for Lindsey Brenneman, 6 for Elizabeth Potts, and 5 for Maris Hovey, the scorers for the Thunder in the ballgame. Leading rebounder was Laura Karsten with 7 to lead the Thunder. Brooke Olson dished 6 assists in the contest as well. For the Blue Jays, 3 players in double figures. Megan Merklin with 18 points, 7 of 11 shooting. Megan Ney with 16 points, a solid performance for her as well. 6 of 16, 4 of 4 at the line. Ney with 7 rebounds in the contest for the Blue Jays. And the other player to reach double digits was Kelsey Monroe, who buried not 1, not 2, but 3 of those 8 3-pointers we were talking about, totaling 14 points in the ball game and also recording 6 rebounds. Rashida Joyner dished out 6 assists, scored 3 points. CJ Harris with 6 points, 8 rebounds and 4 assists, and another strong performance for her. Off of the bench, Stephanie Mitchell was the leading scorer on the bench for the Blue Jays with 8 points. Megan Fitz 3, Jordan Maisto 3, Devin Vaughn 3 as well in the ball game. The Blue Jays bench outscoring the Wheaton bench 17-13. So that's the story here on Blue Jay TV. 74-60. Elmhurst with the win over Wheaton. Elmhurst winning back-to-back games for just the second time this year, and for the first time in the CCIW. They are now 3-3 as they set to head on the road, kind of. I say on the road. It is a road game, but it's here in DuPage County, only about 35 minutes or so, depending on which way you take to get over to Naperville. That'll be the next contest on Tuesday, 7:30 tip, in a contest that will have audio available for you. So make sure to tune in for that. And our next video broadcast of the Elmhurst College women will come your way on Saturday evening as Augustana comes to town. So a big week upcoming for the Elmhurst College women as they look forward to keeping their winning ways alive. Let's take a look at what else happened around the CCIW today, and we'll update those standings for you as well. Milliken, 46-44 winner over Carthage. The other scores in the conference, Illinois Wesleyan winning on the road by 20 at North Park, 74-54. And North Central holds off Augustana, winning on the road 68-64. So the standings now look like this. Illinois Wesleyan 6-0. Milliken sitting in second at 5-1. Wheaton 4-2. Carthage and Elmhurst tied for fourth with 3-3 marks. North Park is now 1-5. North Central is 2-4 ahead of North Park, and Augustana drops to 0-6. Next week is the final week of the first go-round through the CCIW schedule, and the Blue Jays will look to end it in style on Tuesday at North Central before returning and facing Augustana on Saturday as the CCIW begins the return round of the schedule. That's our women's broadcast. Don't go anywhere. The men's contest tips at 7:30 will be on shortly before it here on Blue Jay TV. For our entire crew, I'm Tim Calderwood. Thanks for watching, and go Bears!